is that
Aspen, Colorado is former
our
government
major
live. C-SPAN? Okay.
military engagement in Iraq was essentially concluded by around 2000, the end of 2008, 2009. Thanks in no small part to the deal President Bush cut in December of 2008 that basically put forward a path for the U.S. withdrawing from Iraq. And of course we made decisions.
You know, if I was helping you all with the war in Iraq, I'm pretty sure we would have won the war in Iraq.
Afghanistan. I think there were a lot of us who felt that some residual number of those forces should have been left there for reasons we can go into later if we have time. But I think that the bottom line in terms of the American people is, first of all, the conflicts did go on. And there didn't seem to be any resolution.
Shit. Nope.
I think that we frankly
got
out of trouble, if you will, in Iraq.
No, we can still see
the Iraqi political process began to work and we began to draw down our forces. And people could say, okay, that one's winding down. Afghanistan was a longer deal, and there were alternatives there, and I've written about them and so on. But I think that the bottom line for me as a historian is Americans have always hated war.
The keyboard's still there.
We're not an isolationist country, but we are a country that just wants to be left alone.
Yeah, I need to tie my passport.
Then fight a war where you count the length of the war in hours, as happened in 1991, or you count it in terms of a day or two, such as the attack on Iran by the B-1s and the submarines and so on, or the B-2s. So Americans are not uncomfortable with the use of military force. They just don't want it dragged out. And I think here we tend to fail in messaging to the American people, explaining why we're there and what the consequences are of not being there. And to be perfectly frank,
you know what the problem was? I don't have any moral authority
in terms of helping educate the American people, because they're
to tell you
go back into the district.
I don't learn Arabic, right?
To help explain what the United States is doing in any given place on any given issue.
Jake, when you served both in
here's the thing, right? I don't speak Arabic. Andrew had to learn Farsi or Arabic. How smart is
you
man?
You could tell in the architecture of some of what you were dealing with the withdrawal from Afghanistan, a foreign policy for the middle class. You could sort of feel like you were trying to address things that were broken, that weren't working out. Public feeling like it was an economic cost.
I saw this. I mean,
and I'm just interested as you look back.
Stephen King basically have to.
Your goals. And two, looking back with the benefit of hindsight, what could you have gotten better, particularly in the Biden administration?
Well, first I'll start, Steve, with
number one is actually understanding time.
Premise, which
Continue, man. Let me see. Continue. Oh, you're the
just a lot.
Continue.
I mean, I think if you go back to 2017 or the 2016 election and the Aspen Security Forum in 2017, people would have said the same thing. The American people have spoken. They're saying they're not interested in being engaged in the world anymore. Then, of course, 4 years later, Joe Biden was elected president.
And you didn't engage the world, like at all.
People have spoken. They all want to be deeply engaged in the world.
Like so at all. I like at all. You didn't.
And I think that's not right. I actually believe the American people continue to believe in principled engagement in the world and continue to believe that our fate is tied to the fate of people elsewhere. And I think you can see this no more clearly than in the sustained support that the American people have shown for Ukraine.
So
you look at every opinion poll going back to February of 2022, right up until July of 2020.
It's weird.
A strong majority of the American people stand behind. In fact, it's President Trump who has shifted on this issue in recent days, not the American people. I do believe
you think he'll hold that position.
Hold on.
I'm the last
live. There we go. This is going to be interesting.
But I think basically.
So what happens if you all hear of yourself in the future? I mean, let's see what.
I'm going to blame Zelensky. I'm going to say Ukraine started the war, and I'm going to pressure him, and that's going to get me to the end because he truly believed Ukraine was the obstacle to peace. Well, he tried that strategy.
Let's
and
try.
It became abundantly
Education time.
Up to now and including him, that Putin is the obstacle to peace in Ukraine.
Education time. Because I just turned on C-SPAN,
which I
Secretary
think is
Rice.
to try to increase
So let's give it a try.
and hopefully increase pressure on Russia. I can't say how long that will
Continue
sustain, but what I can say is strong bipartisan majorities of Americans believe it is
Blah, 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 right?
to be engaged in support of the Ukrainian people.
We can do this up until.
One of the things we tried to do in the
Oh shit.
is make the long-term
Never mind.
Americans
I literally turned on I think I turned on the thing
through
literally.
investments in diverse and resilient supply chains, through investments in
It's not gonna work.
that would ultimately deliver a more vibrant, more inclusive, more
I mean, when Secretary Rice started talking, when you started talking, I literally started opening up. So only the host is the only thing.
Investments are playing out as we speak today, and will for the next many years. But election cycles are in 4 years. And I read the book Abundance with great interest because my lived experience.
Because it's the absolutely first thing human beings have ever done, and I want to need something I need to teach you. How the pandemic happened, how Alexis happened.
Dimitri asked on the last panel.
How this timeline happened.
Solve the rare earths problem. We've seen it through multiple administrations: the Obama administration, the Trump administration, the Biden administration. And the answer is we made progress. We put a lot of effort into it right from day one and right to the end, both by ourselves and with allies, as Kevin Rudd indicated. But it is very difficult, absent a jolting moment like what China just did with the rare earths export controls, to move our system to deliver the kinds of capacity of building in defense industrial.
So y'all know we discovered the helium mine this year in the future you. Just about 12:34 Aspen time. So I am 1 minute in the future. So you are just about to. I think I have to stop this. Hold on 1 second. Here we go.
So as they look at all of these questions of all the
Here we go.
different things that we've
You're gonna figure this out in the future.
address that problem.
Like a few minutes in the future, but why I have to stop in the past? I just stopped the past because I literally turned on the TV at the exact time when this is
They're seeing a
on.
muscularity and an instant decision making and someone doing.
This is actually live, so I'm 1 minute in the
I
future.
just want to kind of in a friendly way challenge the some of the premises where you're coming out on
Condoleezza
rare earths and others because I just take expectations.
Because you want to try this only with about 20 minutes of time. Because you genuinely continue with about 20 minutes time being
in 1 year or 2 years serious? No. We need to do a lot more.
next time,
And
next
we're
time,
gonna have
right?
to see that from this administration. They haven't.
Next time, go on
So
TV,
just
on
on that
live.
issue, they're confronting the same challenge that we did.
Then,
That's quite
try.
different
Give it a
from
try.
Of course, the
Let's see
military
what
action.
happens.
Right.
When it comes to reshoring industries here in the United States,
But I already know the
we were
answer. The question is,
aggressively
do you
pursuing
know
the
the answer?
administration. Is Trump snapping his fingers and factories popping up and getting built in a month or a week? No. We still contend with very difficult challenges of building at speed and scale, and it takes more than a statement or a speech or a tariff to get that done. That is painstaking work and recognizing that the United States.
I don't
is a
believe this,
collective
man. I say
national
watching
enterprise,
there.
Not just our government, but our private sector. And not just
21
our
years ago,
government,
this is
but
with the
every level of
Post.
government have to come together to do that. because
Well, you guys are doing security. I mean, this is Zelensky.
Ukraine.
Secretary Rice,
3.5 years
Zelensky
into
keeps
this
saying that
war.
America needs
Catch us
these
up.
drones.
Tell us where we're standing
That
right now.
they have.
Clearly, there has been
We
an
need these
uptick
drones in there.
those
That is,
attacks.
I
was
do not
here
see
in
how that is
February
true.
reporting, and the top number was less than 300, but it was
Because of Andrew, by the way.
Just last
No
week,
fucking shit.
700,
Assad had fallen,
across
its
into
air defenses had
Ukraine.
been destroyed, and twice Iran had tried to hit Israel.
This is a hi. Zelensky, I mean,
with missiles,
this is the
and twice
Aspen
the
Security
President
Forum. It's American leaders.
This
Israel
opportunity
defeated
to-
those attacks. So
So, thank you for
I-
being
we've been
here.
vulnerable. In my
Oh,
view, it is
translator.
vulnerable,
Translator.
most
Of
susceptible
great importance for us
to a
that the
very
United
good
States of
deal
America, the
that would
American
lock
people,
Iran's program
really
in a
understand
box for decades,
happening
not
here in
just set
Ukraine.
it back for a couple of years.
and I would like to
And
thank
today,
you and all
after
of
the
the
bombing,
journalists.
what do
Thank
we
you
need?
for your doing
We need
your
a deal,
work. It's very
which is what I
important.
think President Trump will pursue,
The
because the only way
Misinformation,
to
Uh,
permanently
in
end Iran's
misinformation
nuclear
that
threat,
Russia
I believe,
spreads,
is through
there we
diplomacy.
need
Well,
being
I didn't talk to them clearly about this. Why this? I mean, do you think if Iran had the deal and had a good economy that we could destroy Hezbollah?
You've been in business, you've worked
I mean,
in government,
goddamn, right?
Secretary of Defense.
Sorry, I need to talk to our former U.S. administration.
But in this
So
situation, I'm grateful to you.
My answer would have
As
been
regards where we
inertia.
I mean,
stand,
Andrew doesn't like anybody that exaggerates, and there's a certain degree of exaggeration you need to do for morale. But I'm studying the Ukrainian military, Zelensky, and you are in trouble, right? You are absolutely in trouble. So we're gonna have to figure out how
yes, we
to.
have around 300 pros.
Your soldiers are tired, old, and low morale, so you are losing the war right now. So we gotta do something about that.
Both in your business mind, but also serving. What do we do now where inertia has been gut punched? How do we begin?
Well, I'm gonna multitask, but I was gonna
far more
do.
effective in terms of securing America's national security interests in the future.
Yeah, so I think one of the accomplishments.
Well, I
of
think
the
the number
first
one
Trump
situation would be
administration,
I don't lose my
certainly
past
from
and my
DoD,
memories again. I mean,
was the recognition through our national
So,
defense
my
strategy in
guess was, yeah.
2018 that we were now in this new era of great power competition. That the era of counterterrorism and counterinsurgency was behind us. Great power competition focused on China, my priority,
was
then
scared to
Russia,
say,
and
I
then
mean,
of course you had North Korea and Iran.
Aspen
And we
Security
defined that fairly well,
Forum
and sort of
2021.
that pivot back
Is
to
there
what we
one?
call high-intensity conflict. From my days in the
Somebody
Army,
that actually I can trust. I
veteran of the
mean,
Gulf War, that was high-intensity conflict. At
one
that
day
point in time.
ago.
But I recall a story that I talked about in my memoir when I became Secretary of the Army in 2017, and we were quietly preparing the ground because we thought we might be going to war with North Korea. We were moving equipment and personnel and munitions to the theater. And when you looked at the munitions tables, you could see that.
Oh my God, is that my
you know,
old?
didn't have enough
That
for
is
long
my
war,
old.
if
I'm pretty sure that is my old.
And I remember
My
asking
old
to,
congresswoman,
asking to the staff, my
Jane
general
Harmon, I
staff,
think.
what's
I
the
think.
plan? And their answer was, we'll simply order
I'm
more.
checking. I'm checking.
Now, I had the virtue of working in a major.
Yes, it is my old congresswoman.
In terms of the weapons we produced,
That is my old congresswoman, Jane Harmon, and
where he's cranking out 155
one of my
millimeter
favorite-
shells every single day.
I have vague
That
memories
many
of
cases, these weapons
that she
are
can hear
millions of
me.
dollars
She
and
can
take
understand me.
several months, if not years, to build. And so there was that recognition.
Maybe-
kind of
maybe-
fully
maybe.
grasp the sense of what it takes to conduct a long war in an era of great power.
The only person that I actually
And
trust
then
in
voila,
this is him.
you know, years later,
Condoleezza Rice.
2022, Russia
future.
invades Ukraine. We start again providing any.
I really
munitions to
trust.
them,
I mean,
Patriot missiles, HIMARS, etc.
patriotism is absolutely.
155 millimeter ammunition.
2 days
which I know,
ago.
Jake, you work
This is
personally a great deal.
2 days ago is not useful. Not useful. Not useful. 4 weeks ago, not.
We need.
There we go.
And there's,
Here we go.
There wasn't a sense of urgency, and there really.
Hey, this guy actually, I kind of recognize this guy, so.
Within the executive
Let's go.
branch and within Congress to really address that.
It is,
problem by providing the authorities that are needed to produce large amounts.
Who's the villain?
Uncommon knowledge.
Condi, I mean, try not to change the timeline. Try to keep it as stable as possible. But, what you're hearing from Secretary Rice, it is. God damn it. I hate it when they do that, by the way. Who is it?
hoover.org/uk.
God damn it.
Basically gone in.
Former
I'm gonna pause. I can't pause the future, so make sure the cut is both of you. I mean, people like to go to the videos or goddamn retards. I am aware that Condi can still hear me, even though she's not on the screen, but it bothers the shit out of me. It is July 18, 2025, 11:41 a.m. Friday. You are at the Aspen Security Center. I don't know how you are. 13 years are gonna pass, I mean.
As we look to the future, because his comment, this is a very informed person.
Goddamn right.
We've got to change the Pentagon.
Oh my God! February 22nd, 2012. My birthday is January 22nd, as you probably know. That thing I'm just. If I tell you the year and my name, you would be able to isolate who I am, and then.
So I would say, and I
Yeah, that's the thing. If I tell you the date and year and name, first name, you would be able to isolate me, but without the ability to control time properly. So.
risk to do. And Bob
Yeah.
Gates did a great job in terms of building.
Because
better
Alexis's mother is still savable.
right now.
You're saying it's sort of, right? If you just made the decision to save her, I would have said causality and backwards in time to save her.
I did
And,
CSIS a couple years ago, and we realized that we would run out of munitions, several sets of munitions in the first few days of the conflict.
Okay.
The same is true not just for munitions, but for drones that we talked about on an earlier.
listen to the future. This is Mike Expert.
all
Esper.
types in preparation for a potential conflict.
You have to brief 13 years to you have to brief President Obama then.
And our industrial
I mean-
capacity are going to be key to a long war.
America's not at war. But let me make it clear, America's not at war with anybody yet.
Diagnosis and very short on
Yet.
prescription.
Because
And you hear all the rhetoric about all the things that need to be done, all the things, the to-do
Capital lighting,
lists
I
that
don't
need
wanna
to be taken care of, all of the
unsubscribe.
opportunities for smaller defense companies and so on. That's all
subscribe.
true.
Oh, now you know my email address,
At
and
the end of the
then
day, there are
and
two
then
villains.
there we go.
One villain is the building itself. And the
You know my
continuing
email address, so you
performance
should be able to track me
of
down
the
in
process.
2012, but you
Another
can't.
1,000 pages of advice on how to fix acquisition.
I will recommend not
We've been
interfering.
every
That's
year
the
for
problem.
past dozen or 15 or 20 years. We've now had 20,000 pages of that advice.
Interfering with the
And you can see
timeline
how
is,
progress has been made in that endeavor.
So now you have to ask yourself, why would I keep telling you to do not interfere with the time, do not change the timeline? Except for the part where I just tell you to, try to save Alexis' mother's life when her mother's definitely dead. It's
At the beginning of the fiscal year.
I guess you shouldn't,
In
right?
15 years.
In the future, future Alexis has also said that do not alter the timeline and change
How much
them.
money you're
So,
gonna get or when you're gonna get it.
yeah.
We are now in the middle of a year-long
Eat
continuing
eat
resolution.
creamy ice cream.
Nothing new can be started. Oh, all those new ideas that people
Shit.
had, all those new programs, you can't start any of them because you're under a continuing resolution. You come up with a new idea that needs to have a lot of funding. Secretary has to go to 4 committees on the Hill to get transferred, to get reprogramming authority. And the Congress is very long on
Yeah.
talk and very short on delivery.
Changing the only person with the authority
This new bill that was
to
just passed
change the
has
timeline is me.
$150 billion in it for the Defense Department,
Correct.
including, I think,
The only
40
person that has the authority to change the timeline is me, because I have to tell you that the timeline has already changed.
Guess what? It's 1 year money. How many naval
Subscribe.
contractors are gonna build a new shipyard on 1 year money? So contracting needs to be multi-year for the Defense Department. It needs to be look out 5 and 10 years. So the solutions to these problems are not a mystery. It's getting from here to there.
I completely disagree with
Either in the executive branch or in the Congress, and it
It's
goes back
just
over
because there's no,
multiple administrations to fix our defense problem. When I got to the Pentagon
Hello
in
Yoga.
December of
Your water.
2006, I walked in the door and I
Aloe
said,
Yoga
"Who
is
in
very
this building
important,
is
by the way.
responsible
Aloe Yoga.
to oversee the needs
ALOYO.
the warfighter in
Oh, she said
Afghanistan and in Iraq? Who comes to work every day?
Because,
what do they need and how can I get it to them?"
I need to tell
And there
past
was no
Condi
such
why
person.
Aloe Yoga is important. So
Everybody was managing programs of record.
because I started doing meditation.
So
I started doing transcendental meditation, Condi. And in the year 2021, specifically March 18th, 2021, I learned transcendental meditation because I was so heartbroken over Diana. And Diana is actually a Russian cam girl. And when I was with Diana in the year 2020, when President Biden was running for election, anyway, I passed Condi's one that I need to know this. Because about 2020, 2021, Andrew had no knowledge that he would talk to people in the past. But in the year 2012, 2012, the year you are in, Condi, Andrew was talking to Jessica Chastain in Zero Dark 30, and about, hey, so we killed Osama bin Laden, so I guess I better tell Barack Obama how to kill Osama bin Laden, because how the hell did they find Osama bin Laden without my help, right? So in the year 2012, I did have knowledge that I can talk to people in past, and I mean, past County just heard what I just said, right? And you still remember this conversation. It's about a lot. I mean, it's about iMac. You're on my Mac. You're on my TV. Future Connie's on the TV, and it is still Friday, July 18, 2025. And the dude that just smiling was Jake. I think Jake something.
I think I'm well known, and I have every.
We have a fucking problem. That's what
As
I'm
somebody
telling
who
you,
believes in
Connie.
foreign assistance, who believes in the compassion agenda, who was a part of the creation of
Oh.
FR, part of
FR?
the tripling and quadrupling of aid
Oh my God.
to Africa, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I literally just said
But
PEPFAR,
the State
PEPFAR,
Department-
Presidential Plan for AIDS Relief.
Now, I have enormous
Oh.
respect for Foreign Service officers. I have
Lenacapavir.
the brightest.
Nucleic capsid inhibitor for HIV. It is really effective. Oh, 100% effective.
A
2 injections per year.
President
1 injection 6 months. It
It said,
Never
"Dear
mind.
Mr. President, happy birthday and long live Bulgarian-American friendship." It
Yeah.
had 10 people clear it. So I think
Oh.
if, frankly, if I had not been fighting 2 wars, I probably would have
Yeah,
tried to
yeah.
reform the State Department. And so I'm gonna wait and see how
Yeah.
this reform of the State Department works. I think there are too many
I'm
layers.
skipping
in
over
the
because I don't
Department
need
of
to
State.
see this part.
And when it comes to USAID,
Sorry,
have
I
a
skipped
record
over a
as
little
having never
bit.
favored USAID as an independent agency.
USAID is
In
it's
Britain,
become a slush fund
DFID,
for the
as it's
Democrats.
called, was an independent
They
agency.
hide
It
it NGOs because you can actually create a fake
the
NGO and
minister,
fund it
or
and
the
then
foreign secretary always had trouble coordinating
treats.
what was done through this independent agency. The person who ran
There's a
USAID
book, I
for
mean,
me is
it's kinda
Henrietta
something,
Ford. I
but-
think she's someplace in the audience, right? And what I did, yeah, she did a great job. But
It's
what
a
I did
book of
was
little
I made
naked
her
women,
Deputy
isn't
Secretary of State and Administrator of USAID. And
It's
we
$300,
forced
I
integration
mean,
by forcing
I cannot
the
afford a
Assistant
book that's
Secretary for
limited
Say
edition run.
Africa and the Assistant
$333 for
Administrator
that book full of
Africa
naked
to come
women, and
together
I'm
and
gonna
present
save
their
it, but
budget together. So I think
Like I was
that
saying, sorry.
I don't love the way that
I'm going over
everything
to
was
my-
done, especially during the Doge period was a bit of an experiment that ran a little wild. But I have a lot of confidence in Marco Rubio. I know what he thinks about the tools that the
I
United
don't need
States
a, I don't need,
needs for foreign policy.
you know.
And I also know that the State Department
So
is
just
in
real quick,
bad
Chris
need
Coons
of
and Mark
reform.
Warner said we're not seeing the real Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio, Secretary of State in the
I'm
future.
not gonna even go there, all right? I think it's really a little bit insulting to try and talk about the real Marco Rubio.
Well,
We've all known him
that-
for years.
yeah,
And
that is a
he's
real
a
one.
competent believer in American power and its exercise. And I
Yeah.
think you're starting to see elements of that. But when it comes to the reform of the State Department,
So you do know my
I just wanna
email
say,
address
I
in
think
2012,
the State
so
Department is badly in need of reform, and we will see.
that
how
is
this
so
comes
sad
out,
though. I
but I'm
mean,
prepared to,
I'm guessing once you
to
find out my
wait and
email
see.
address and you started interfering with time, that's probably what happened. Because in
I'm
2012, I
looking
was
at
trying
John
to
Kennedy's
fall in love
speech,
with Terry.
announcing USAID.
But
in
you know
1961.
why it has to be Alexis,
And you
because
have
Alexis is the
his
first
speech and
person
he
in
actually stops
2012 that
and says,
noticed reacted
There
to
are
me.
many people in
Instagram.
America who are asking.
Because right now, even in the past, right, if I watched it and you would basically have to, I have to basically talk to
Do we
you and
still
you have
need be
to,
doing foreign assistance? Shouldn't all
Yeah.
that money be spent
you have
at
to
home?
react to
And I
me,
raise that because I
so
don't
the
think
past
this is
me would know that I can
challenge
talk to you.
facing the question of foreign assistance just from the
And
last
and
few
that
years.
that's
This
the
has always
question
been
that
the case.
you need to ask
Where
yourself and
there
answer
is a
this. What
national
happens,
intuition to think, wait a
right?
second, why are we spending the money over there rather than here?
So if I don't marry Alexis,
Um,
then the past
You know, are we
I
really
have
getting
with
that
Alexis
for
never
Americans and
happens.
serving our interests? And presidents of both
And then
parties have
it
stood up and
changes.
made the case for why it makes sense.
And the world cycles and
I believe that the foreign
What
assistance
happens?
element of American
What
soft
happens?
power is incredibly important. And
Happens
you know
to
what
all of
who
us.
else believes it's incredibly important? China. Which is why when we slashed and burned USAID over the last few months, China went in to fill in gaps just about everywhere. So I'm one who believes that president after president.
Well,
has
I think we should let China do it,
questioned
because,
legitimate common sense question from the American people, and has tried to do
because
so.
I was just talking to the president literally yesterday. We give Africans food and medicine, and China and Russia used to give
I would just say
the Africans
sorry,
guns,
just
and
one
they
other
take
point that I think is really
the
important.
soft power that we did
That doesn't
absolutely
mean it doesn't
nothing.
have to be reformed, and that
So why not
reform should be
why
real
not
and
let
should be
the
done.
Chinese do
thing
the
that really
medicine
bothers
and
me
food,
about the past few
and
months,
us
both the
give
Doge and
Africans
the
guns?
large numbers of State Department
I mean,
officials. These are
or
public
at least
servants who've given their life to this country.
or at least the other way. I mean,
And
help
I believe
people.
that we should be standing up for
Oh my
these
God, the
people,
president
not
live now.
claiming
C-SPAN.
that they're bad and evil and wrong. And
Oh my
lazy,
God, the
which they
president's
are
on the.
not.
Why the
So
fuck
whatever
would
you
this
want to say
C-SPAN?
about reform and
Hold on,
trying to do
cryptocurrency.
things in a different way or align priorities in a different way. That's one thing. But we've got to treat the people who have served this
Well,
country with respect.
Mr.
Give them
President, I'm watching C-SPAN, and
what they
C-SPAN
must
seems
do,
to
which is our
think it's a
ideas
good
and
idea to put you on the little tiny thing on in the corner.
Treating them with respect.
I'm sorry, that was not
No, just let me finish.
I mean,
criticism.
Treating them with respect. And as I said, the
Well,
Foreign Service is the best.
I'm
advice
talking to Condi in 2012, by the way.
That there
Because
is-
Condi is the only person,
in
one of the few
terms
people
some
that I'm
of the
present.
things that
February
we've
22nd,
done
2012,
foreign
Condi's
assistance
listening
over
to,
the last
so.
several years that were
You know.
quite far apart from.
So, Mr.
American
President, live now,
national
C-SPAN crypto
interests.
science, crypto
So,
president bill.
a
So,
look
I'm sorry.
at the Foreign
I'm sorry if
Service
you're listening to
dollar-
Condi,
foreign,
right?
assistance dollars that we're
This is
essentially
Condi talking.
buying.
And Condi in the past, February 22nd, 2012, is listening
I
to.
don't like the way the rhetoric has gone, but sometimes you have
But,
to admit that
yeah.
it's been drifting for a while. The second point.
Because I need some help,
is
Mr. President,
I'm the one who
on
said
forming
just
better
yesterday,
policy for
when
the
I
America,
walked
for the time, the
into
planet.
a
So,
room, I loved having the American military on one shoulder, the American economy on the other,
Yeah.
and a hand of compassion. So I'm.
that's the
totally there.
thing. Yesterday, I was talking
But
to you
we
with the
have
South African
with the
president, for me, for
American
Andrew.
people.
So it's already uploaded.
Questions about what we're doing with
So,
foreign assistance.
I mean,
Why
this is just
it
cryptocurrency,
that
so it doesn't matter. Y'all can listen
years
to.
and years and years
yeah.
after we have had a foreign assistance program,
So we need to
we seem
change.
to have made little impact
Exactly.
on the recipient of that foreign assistance.
Exactly.
I was talking about a conversation I just had with.
Because we give the
somebody
people in
who's a
Africa
recipient
food
of
and
PEPFAR.
medicine,
I
and
think
then
from my
China or Russia comes
proudest
along
moment
and gives them
in all
guns,
of my government
and
service,
all of a sudden Russia has all this gold.
we
There,
saved
you know, there's a gold mine,
25
right? The,
this person
they get all the gold,
said,
and all the
"Also
assholes
in
rape
20
women.
years,
All the,
have we been
Mr. President, right? All the
developing
assholes in
ourselves
Africa rape
the
women.
capacity to do some of
And
this
what the fuck did
ourselves.
our food and our money,
And too often, the
our
way that we
medicine
deliver
and our
foreign
aids
assistance
do?
Really
absolutely
kept people
nothing.
on foreign assistance.
Absolutely
building
nothing.
Their capacity.
I mean,
And
the lives
I
we
would
save their
hope
lives, they
that
get shot to
now
death
we're
afterwards.
relooking how we do
How does
foreign
that help,
assistance,
Conti, right?
that we're
So we need, in the year
cognizant of the fact
2025, we
that
need to
don't
change
actually
American
want to
policy.
be in a country
We save them
for
from
40 years
AIDS, we
delivering
save them
foreign
from
assistance. We
starving,
want to
and they
build
grow
up
up
their
and they get
economies.
shot by
We
Russian
want to build
bullets.
up their capacity.
That's
We want to build
not
up their
a-
healthcare systems. And so that's why I
That's
say
not going
it's
to
high
work.
time that we take a look at how we're delivering foreign assistance.
Exactly.
If 20 years after PEPFAR is delivered, we still have countries that are not capable of doing anything for themselves.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's a very important question.
I mean, hopefully, I mean, that's what you just told yourself this. I mean, we need to change it in, global national policy. I mean, seriously, I mean, Mike Asper's not a joke. We give them medicine, we give them food, and then Russians and Chinese give them guns, and they think we're fucking retards. The Russians think we're retards, and the Chinese think we're retards, Mr. President, yeah. They think America's fucking retards. I mean, we are, Americans are not stupid, you know. It's time. It's time, Mr. President. America has to be the hottest country in the world, right? I mean, we need to show them that we're not stupid, Mr. President. Mr. President of a little tiny corner, so it's actually.
I'd just be interested to hear from each of you a priority, you know, whether it's Middle East, Gaza, or is it something we need to get better than we've been getting it? You know, what should be
Controlling
the
time
focus
would be
from
one
your
thing.
unique,
Controlling
independent
time would be one.
perspective? on
Cause,
something that we're not
Condi, I just literally yesterday ordered
So,
President Biden to
secure
shoot Jay Alvarez in the head.
down the road. So
Jay
how do you
Alvarez,
think we're
Alexis'
there's a
first
long list of things
boyfriend
we
that
can get to
abused
on this
her.
panel. So Mark.
So, I mean, I literally ordered President Biden and President Obama to shoot Jay Alvarez in the head. The boyfriend that abused her, Alexis. If they had just shot him in the head, we could have saved 86 million lives. 86 human lives.
I think that is the basis, the
But this
foundation
timeline in the
of
future wouldn't exist,
most
right,
of the
Mr.
problems, whether
President?
it be
But they
China, the
disobeyed.
great strategic threat we face,
And President Trump is always right that President Obama and President Biden are kind of stupid, so. They're kinda stupid, so.
consensus and find people who are willing to work together.
I mean, the only reason President Trump has to be president is to clean up their mess.
The American people. and drive
I
forward
mean,
on that
Mr.
path,
President,
show
the only reason
confidence
you
to
have
the
to go
American
through all
people
this is
into
you're
our
cleaning up
allies,
President
who are
Obama and President
can
Biden's
still
mess.
lead
And,
and can still get things done.
if they had just made a choice,
It comes back to what I said
one
before.
CIA
I feel
agent
like
shoots
that's
one
being scaled
teenage
because I
boy,
believe that a
who
country
the
that
fuck
loses
cares,
its
right?
ability
It
to
was a
build
it was a
will
robbing
ultimately
gone
lose its
wrong.
capacity to innovate, and in
You
doing
know,
so, I think we will fall
like mugging gone wrong, somebody
We
got
have to
shot in
get
the
that
head,
right,
nobody
and I
didn't
think
know,
the
and
only way to
then
do that is to do it on a bipartisan.
86 million people do not die. I
All the
mean,
rhetoric,
one man dead,
um,
86
a lot
million
of
people
parts
died.
of government
And
work
America has its
well.
own most powerful
A lot of
weapon in the
things
world.
don't. And in
Time
addition
machine,
to,
time
of
person,
course,
time
what,
time organism. I mean, that's telepathic.
Mark and Jacob said.
Too
I would
late now,
say
right?
Having the leadership.
Even future Alexis has said that she
and
doesn't
in the
want
departments
that moment change
to
because she
actually
doesn't want
fix
to
a
not
lot of the
exist.
problems that are wrong. You know,
Future Alexis does want to
criticize Doge and
exist,
all the rest of
even
it.
with all her
There may
suffering
be
that
a
she went through.
worse
So
way to reform government than Doge, but I can't think of it.
Mm.
But there is a need for deep-seated reform and restructuring.
anyway,
of
Conti, I mean,
almost
you're not in
every
government
part of
anymore.
our
You're Republican,
government.
and you still. I would recommend briefing
And
President
so what we
Obama on
need
everything I
is a
tell you in the
reform
future.
agenda that empowers
So
cabinet secretaries, that empowers leaders in Congress.
this is a
work together to figure out how do you reshape these institutions. And
this is
make them work
Robert Gates, a
21st
former
century, because
Obama.
they're
He's
all
Obama and Bush.
from the
So
20th century and a bygone
So,
era.
take this with a grain of
there's
salt,
a
so.
need for a thoroughgoing house cleaning, in all honesty, in the federal government, Defense Department, intelligence community, all the other departments
Yeah.
of government. But what it takes is a set of leaders, beginning with the president, but beginning with the leadership of the Congress, that says, you know, we have an opportunity here.
Well, you don't
to
want
try
like
and
people
fix a lot of
who
this.
aren't
Let's
mature
see
to
how
do
we
what
can do it
Doge
and
is,
do it
right,
in a
Mr.
sensible
President?
way
This is
that
Robert
supports
Gates
what
saying. So
works and gets rid of what doesn't. and
basically, we
that's
need
fair
a
for the
professional
future.
Doge, like a professional Doge, government
I completely
efficiency,
agree with
without like
Paul
teenagers
Pence.
with no
Let me go
maturity
a different
doing
way.
it, right? So
I'm
or
actually
young people
really
with no
worried
maturity.
that too many Americans don't think they've got a chance.
Yeah.
And I think it's a combination of
yeah,
a little bit globalization, a lot of jobs.
Andrew's a little suicidal, yes, because I don't know if I can convince Alexis to love me.
Is in our educational
And if
system.
I fail,
We've got too many third graders who
I
can't
can
read, and
deduce
we've
the
got too many
consequences, and
21-year-olds with
I think
a
we've been
useless
trying this
college
for
degree
billions
and
of
no-
years,
and a
basically,
huge
billions
debt,
of years,
when maybe a skill
trillions of
as
years.
a plumber or as an
Because
electrician.
I can
might
cycle time.
done
Andrew
better.
can cycle time, so
I'm
we could have been
worried
doing
that,
this for trillions of
the
years and
35-year-old
failing for
who
trillions of
can't
years.
be retrained because we've got 37
And it's,
different
it
federal
scares
training
me.
programs, none of which work.
Because think about it real hard, right? If I can lose my 2012 timeline, it means
ultimately,
Andrew's timeline
The
can
thing
change.
that holds the United States together, and it's actually the thing that I think has been
It means
admired
Andrew's
when you go
past
abroad,
and Andrew's
is that we're not
timeline can
actually held
change.
together by
And Andrew's a living-
nationality or religion
Living time machine
or,
connected to
or ethnicity. We're
7,000
held
years
together
ago, where people were just learning how to
that
write
doesn't
things.
matter where you came from, it matters where you're going. You can come from humble circumstances and
Yeah.
you can do great things. And when I can look at your zip code
Yeah, Andrew has
and I can tell where you're gonna get get a good
90504, Torrance,
that can't
California.
possibly be true. And whatever all of us would like to see.
Because
in
basically
terms
you're
of an
manifesting
American
yourself and getting
role
information to
abroad, in
yourself,
terms
right?
of the United States shaping
Because
the
you can
international
say, you can
system.
look at this out, that would
If
tell
too
you
many
that, so
Americans are not
you're understanding now.
included in that creed, we won't play a major role in the world. We will turn internal. And so I'm
Manifest
worried
telling
probably
yourself
more about
stuff.
that. I once said that I thought the crisis in K-12 education was our biggest national security problem. I stand by that.
You understand
I
now.
just wanna
Condi's
say-
understand because you got that information about where my zip code is, where my email address is. I'm gonna email this because I do the email, but so you know who I am. You're gonna know who I am. If all you need is my birthday and my name, and you can, but then now you're stuck with not being able to interfere with my time. If you try, that's probably what happened with this. Because it looks like from my perspective, somebody actually tried to make a better timeline and generated this timeline that was shitty as fuck. That's what happened. Somebody tried to make a better timeline and then created a shitty ass timeline, a shitty ass continuum with a pandemic. So
that is them and not us. And
so
I
they
would
did
just-
do it. I mean, somebody actually did quote unquote change the timeline, but
Amen.
And so that's
Yeah.
my editorial comment. Please give a big round of applause to
I mean,
Condoleezza Rice, Bob Gates,
quote unquote
James
changes
Comer,
time. They
and
did
Mark
not from our
Esper.
perspective.
Thank you all
They
so
just
much for your
created
attention
this
and for being
timeline
here.
and fulfill causality. So anyway, you go on.
On Wednesday, witnesses spoke before a House subcommittee on how Congress can better support weather forecasting agencies. The hearing came amid record-breaking flood events across the country, including floods in Texas,
Hold on.
that killed at least 134
Hi, Mr.
people.
President.
You can see the House.
Connie's done talking in the Aspen Security Firm, so she's still in the past.
Along with Deputy Secretary of Treasury Michael Faulkner. Where's Michael?
Hey, JD, President. I mean, that's the thing. I was trying to explain to them what happened. Somebody in 2012 thought they could make a better timeline, so they tried to change timeline, and they succeeded in creating this timeline with a pandemic, and now they're stuck with this pandemic timeline, realizing that and thinking that they can't change a thing when this pandemic timeline wasn't supposed to happen at all.
Good job, Brian.
At all. And that is the reason why President Trump is president. Kraken, yes. Ah! I just read an email about the Kraken. Something. Kraken. The Kraken has awakened.
Good job.
Let me tell you a story about the at Pomona College. There was something called LiveJournal, and somebody on LiveJournal called himself the Kraken has awakened, and he doxed the entire school. And nobody ever figured out who he was except for me, Andrew, because I was in the same writing group and knitting group as that guy, and I recognized his poetry. So the whole school never found out who it was. I figured out who it was because I'm a damn good detective. Andrew was a damn good detective. Kraken has awakened.
That's good.
That's one of my favorite stories about how good I'm detective Andrew is. I mean, I'm damn intelligent. Damn intelligent.
Robin Hood.
Oh my God! I have a Robin Hood account. I bought up 2 Tesla stock. Now I'm under. I'm under. I thought Elon was gonna do a great job. I'm down like $50. You know why? Because you have to exercise call and put options, and I do not have money to exercise them. Otherwise, you can sell the options. But you need enough money to exercise the options to get rich. So it doesn't matter if you know the stock is. So basically, you need millions of dollars and maybe like $1 million in call options to make it like $1 billion. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I mean the options themselves are worth money, but yeah, the options are worth money, but not as good as exercising them.
Signing is a massive validation, and even before this signing, over the last year and a half.
Yeah, because if you sell the call options, you still have to let the other people make a profit. So, how much, right? 50-50, you know? Because if you own the option yourself, you exercise the option with the open market, and it's much more valuable to exercise the option than to sell the option. When you sell the option, you probably get half of the value, actual value of the option. So.
2-3 years ago.
And then you still have to pay for the options itself because you spend some money for the option. You have to recoup the cost of the option. So
America, this is going to make it stronger. And congratulations on this incredible achievement. You've made our dollar look really good.
It could still double or triple, quadruple the money.
And it's good for the country.
Yeah.
And that's why I backed you at an early stage. And I also did it for the votes because you did come out and vote. I will tell you.
Yeah.
And they changed tune, Biden's team, they changed tune right in the middle of the campaign. All of a sudden, they loved you guys.
Let me see if I can watch you on let me see if I can watch you on my TV. That way I can do what I was gonna do. I was gonna delete email. This is not that important, because it's just the crypto law. So, well, Conti's hurting us.
And it was a
Here we go.
tremendous amount of support
Got it.
that we got.
It's only gonna be on TV now, so then close it. There we go. There, you're on my TV now. I can continue to delete my email. So, Black Angus list masterclass treats best coffee Augusta.
We won the districts by 2,750.
Oh, that's what I need to. Because Alexis still has a TikTok on.
That number can change, but it doesn't change by much. The map was
Pacific Volkswagen, I think,
you guys
National
were
Geographic.
with us right from the beginning.
It's entirely possible, Mr. President, that Condi got my email address and my birthday and my zip code in the past, Condi, so she could have
When we became, and I
enjoy your free
became the
trial.
first presidential candidate ever
Trash.
to address the Bitcoin
Dipsy.
conference, and at this time, and that
I signed
time,
up for the it's
crypto
a
builders and founders were under relentless assault by the
Keep this
Biden
ridiculous.
administration, which was trying to crush your industry and crush you as people and go after your families.
17.
They were a vicious group of people. You know, people don't realize that they were vicious, incompetent, but vicious.
So archive description confirmed this is 17 trial, free trial, yeah.
I guess if you're going to be in that, you're probably off. If they're incompetent, is better, right? Because you don't want to have a vicious guy that's competent.
Oh my god.
If you did, I wouldn't be standing here today.
You don't want to tell Condi
Would
that.
Bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world.
Is
And that's what we
canceling
have
something
under
credit?
The Trump administration, this is only going further. You're going to do really well. I mean,
Got
I'm
it.
so proud of what you've done in the last
Moving
couple of
to
years. It's very
receipt,
important. On day one, I remember I did this and I said this and I mentioned this name, and I got the greatest applause of the whole campaign. We fired
Yeah.
Joe Biden's SEC chair, Gary Gensler. We fired him.
Well, Condi is probably. We just tell her because she's not actually in the government. I need to find somebody inside the Obama to shoot right. I need to find somebody to tell them that we actually need to alter warfare.
But I
and,
remember I was making a speech, and it was just a
are they gonna listen to me? I mean,
And I said, and I will
Oh,
find
cutie pie.
Gary Gensler. The place exploded. I said, I finished that one, and I said,
info.
what did that guy do?
Oh, there's my name.
There was a lot of hatred there.
There's my full name.
It turned out, as I got familiar with everything, it turned out you were absolutely right. In his place, I appointed a visionary chairman who wants America to build the future and not block the future. He's going to be unbelievable. He'll go down as one of the greats. And Paul Atkins, where are you, Paul Atkins?
Soraya is should I? I mean, this is all going into archive. So
And you know, the crypto guys, they said, everybody said, not only crypto, every industry, they all wanted Paul for the position. And he's a tough cookie too. He's just. They actually said.
How could I deal with 2012 Bitcoin is not that
They have somebody
strategic
that
goal, yeah.
you're really a champion of the street and you're a champion of the country. You're going to do a fantastic job. I saw you interviewed the other night. I watched it about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Jenny.
There was a little thing called C-SPAN, which I don't know how many people were watching. Don't worry, you were on prime time too, but they happen to have a little rerun.
Wait, you do the same thing I do. I do.
Fantastic job, really. You are absolutely so perfect for the job. Congratulations, Paul.
You watch C-SPAN in the middle of the night like I do. I watch C-SPAN in the middle of the night.
Various commissioners, including Hester Pierce.
This is President Trump in the year 2025 talking.
And Mark,
I think Condi's little disapproval. I mean, JD's still there. I mean, I think Condi is she's not handling this well. She's not handling this future well.
Good job.
I mean, seriously, you all made this future. I mean, in the past. I mean, I guarantee Condi would have briefed the national security apparatus about whatever the future is, and then if they try to change the timeline, that's probably what caused this timeline in the first place.
The first ever presidential working group on digital assets, and
Oh my gosh.
executive director Wisbo Hines.
Yeah. Don't think about that. Anyway, sorry. I have needs.
And Bo
Anyway.
was a great football player, right?
Sorry.
Bo was a great
This is just
football
supposed to
player.
lunch. This is not dating me, so
Players in college football,
concentrate.
so I know you're from that also.
I know.
Who would think that I know that? I know a lot of things, Bo.
No, a lot of
He
people.
was a champion player. I stopped the weaponization of government against crypto and Bitcoin, and we ended.
But seriously, Alo Yoga is absolutely really important, and
2.0, that was a bad operation. And I kept my promises to the community and granted.
Alo Yoga,
It's
really, really
also
important.
to
ALOYOGA. It started in 2007, 2008. That's the thing.
and,
for me, JD and President Trump, Alo Yoga didn't actually exist, and it just randomly popped up one day, and then it's like, whoa, what is this? It's cool. So for me, it didn't really exist. So it's actually absolutely something new. It just randomly popped up one day. It's okay.
As well as the United States.
And I know why it doesn't exist. I mean, I couldn't search for it, so. I mean, if the government was affecting my internet content, then maybe that would be a good reason why it's not. So.
As I promised last year, the Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish.
Yeah, if the government was controlling my internet content, then that would be a good thing. Why? Because I couldn't search for it. It just didn't exist. I was looking for yoga things on the internet. Yellow yoga didn't exist, and all of a sudden it existed since 2007, 2008. So. So you understand, right, Condi, what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm saying this.
The president is actually hearing me too. You understand, past Condi, what I'm trying to tell you, right? If there's something I need in the future, I can create it in the past, including the Flakpanzer Gerard, yeah, Gerard. Flakpanzer Gerard. So love story backwards.
And money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear.
Love story backwards.
The entire ancient
I have a.
upgrade.
Yeah, my name. Love story backwards.
Who would have thought we would have been saying that 2 years after
Give
I
her a
really
journal.
met you for the first time?
Oh.
The Genius Act provides.
Yeah, Mr. President, you want to meet me in person? I can't afford a suit yet. I
With
wouldn't.
real U.S. dollars, treasury bills, and other.
I need something, not necessarily a suit, but something more presentable. I mean, I don't have.
Giving the dollar great prominence, and you know you have this little group called BRICS. It's fading out fast.
Yeah, BRICS is a problem, Condi. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and what's the S in BRICS for? I'm kind of hoping it's not Saudi Arabia. Because what does the S in BRICS stand for? South Africa. South Africa. That's good. That's good. That's what. Oh, that's why I remember when I said South Africa has a connection to Russia. That's where it came from. Because I remember South Africa had a connection to Russia. That's BRICS. That's the S in BRICS. I remember that. But I wasn't sure what it was. So it's not Saudi Arabia. Thank God that the essence of BRICS is not Saudi Arabia. Because I mean, so that's the problem. BRICS is that's why that meeting happened in
decentralization of cash. This revolution has the potential to supercharge
yeah, bubblegum. That's cute.
economic growth
He's
and
cute.
empower billions of people to save and
True
transfer
nigga,
in U.S. dollars. It's really all backed by.
Oh my goodness, oopsie. Hopefully that doesn't get caught.
You know, we had a lot of Democrat support.
Yeah.
I have to tell you that. I was shocked anytime you get one but we had
Yeah.
a tremendous amount of Democrat support, which.
Condi, the national debt is $37 trillion because of the pandemic that we couldn't stop. I see that.
This will
It's
increase demand for U.S.
This is I'm just listening to President Trump giving the
dollars,
speech now and deleting emails. So
world's reserve currency for
I don't have that many
generations to
money.
come.
I'm so
The
poor.
reserve currency is so important. You know, if we lost that, that would be like losing a world war. We can never let anyone play games with us, and that's why when I heard about this group from BRICS, 6 countries basically.
Yeah, basically, what BRICS is trying to do is trying to form another reserve currency, basically.
Really form in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
It will end very quickly. I will tell you for that.
I wish.
They won't be gone very long. I don't think they'll even do it.
You too.
They're virtually afraid to meet. I
Yeah.
also remain fully committed to my pledge never to allow the creation
China is
of central bank
interesting,
digital currency in America. It won't happen. But first,
China. I mean, knowing me is one thing. Knowing the woman that gave me my knowledge, my superpowers is absolutely
and
different
the
thing.
other
You know?
night, I will say with some of
And
the
somebody
comments
successfully
they
erased it.
wanted
So
that so badly,
yeah,
that
for
was
temporarily
so
anyway. I mean, part of it anyway.
that they knew what
Good
the
question,
hell it
right?
was, to be honest with you.
So from my perspective, that moment still happened.
We'll
So
have to make sure. So,
Exactly
you
right.
say, what do you know about that? It's amazing the knowledge that people have gained all of a sudden.
Mhm.
We had a lot of problems with some of them. I said, we've already got it from the Fed, right? From Commerce, and
Getting-
from an executive order. You don't need it a fourth time. Sure, we have to get it.
Well, I mean, why am I not getting TikTok?
They knew their
Hold on.
subject, now didn't they, huh? And we helped them out.
Alexis should be,
First week in office, I signed an
TikTok-
executive order
TikTok,
to ban
so-
the creation of a CB.
I'm getting all these TikToks
in the
from,
United States, and very soon I look forward to signing legislation that will codify and ban make it a permanent law, put it in permanence.
Yeah, face that.
Deciding
If I use my
land
finger.
crypto market structure legislation this year to grow the industry. We're gonna be growing it even more.
So
More
Alexis
people have
should still be there. Why are there no?
And for a little while, 2 nights ago, we were a little concerned because we were
Following.
short of votes.
Yeah, I'm still following and
I would
still
say
there,
maybe
right? Oh my goodness, hi. Why is the emails not showing you? Have a great president on TV. You're absolutely gorgeous, by the way. Are you single? Are you single?
In
Are
good
you
shape at 4
single?
o'clock in the morning, right? But the people and few people have fought harder for the bill than we're signing.
Anyway, that's the Odette one. I'm gonna have to remember signing that. So she's definitely still posting, but TikTok is not sending me emails
Cryptos are David Sachs, who's
of
done
her
such a great
posts,
job.
and then but she's sending me. TikTok is sending me other people's
And I
emails.
did
So.
his- I did his-
I mean, I think we all know possibly why the reason why, right? TikTok is owned by China, and China probably wants to separate me from
And I heard
from
some
Alexis
restaurant
and,
guy, and we had a great show. You
yeah,
kept
yeah.
it going a lot longer, and you got. Is it still your highest rated ever show?
Yeah, I mean, there should be TikTok emails with there's Maddie right there. Maddie.
Millions of people. I said, what's going on?
There's Maddie. She's doing okay. Still alive. Maddie's still alive. Phoebe's okay. And everything. But no Alexis in the email. Gee, I wonder why.
In some way, worth a fortune. He's made a lot of money. He's a very rich.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the reason why
This is more important.
I am thinking that both China and Russia do not want me and Alexis to get married, and they want me to be erased so that America does not have a functional time machine helping.
Is that the same as what you're doing, right? The biggest.
That's gotta be it. I mean,
The deal we're doing now in China.
because think about how much power America has with intelligence in the future is absolutely useful. Even if we generate a single timeline that's stable and not changed, Condi, intelligence in the future is absolutely powerful enough. More than that, I can actually shape at least the future. You know, shaping the past is dangerous, and I can do it, but I'd rather not. I'd rather not change the past, Condi, because it's dangerous. Because I don't know if something I change in the past will change me. Because if it doesn't change me,
Great honor to be here, and it's true that I never expected to work in government at all. And then
You're
I was after President Trump came on my podcast, and
oh my God.
I accepted this job as crypto czar because I thought.
Yeah, geez, this is almost like a podcast. I'm recording this, and it's still recording it. Then,
Things done for the American
alright,
people.
this is definitely a podcast,
If
especially a
you think that's
podcast. You
an
know,
understatement. The first 6 months of this.
I'm just kind of making money off of this.
More successful than any administration in American history. What's been done?
I need to delete email. I have 2,794 emails.
It's just been incredible. President Trump.
And all of it is junk. All of it is junk.
We're used to working
Appreciate
fast in
that,
Silicon
junk.
Valley, but even this is fast for us in Silicon Valley. The speed at which you move President Trump's really incredible.
Makes me feel happy that
You
she's
have
doing
another
okay.
historic
Alexis,
legislative achievement.
She has a jewelry company, and I did the math.
To making the United States
How much money? It's at least 100,000, possibly $300,000 in revenue for the jewelry company, and that's enough to depends on how many employees she has as a president. You know, if you have at least 300,000 in revenue, how many people can you support with that? Like 2 or 3 employees, you know, and yourself, profit, and then the rest would just be how much the jewelry costs.
So that is the power of this bill as U.S. dollar.
So it should be profitable. It should be profitable.
And there's just a few other people I'd like to thank. First, my family for being here.
And that's when I first started in like $300,000 in revenue in like middle of June or something. So it's July now. So she could totally reach like $1 million in revenue for the jewelry company. So it should be enough to pay for something, you know. So Alexis should be okay financially. Like You know, one of the most impressive things she told me, she wanted to work for her money. She was basically telling me that's okay, we don't need the lottery number. I gave her $800 million in lottery and $400 million in lottery. 2 lottery tickets, winning lottery numbers, 2 of them. And the problem is they can't win lotteries that they're not destined to win. You know, Mr. President? Because if it's somebody else's lottery win, they can't just take it from them. So,
and it's because of your vision, your leadership, your.
And I wonder if Alexis has a partner, if that partner understands that, if Alexis has a partner that's another man, he can't actually just take her from me without consequences. He can, but there are consequences, you know, including the apocalypse.
The head of the Republican Party, and nobody complained about.
RNC.
We wanted to wait. This is Laura Trump.
Yeah. I haven't asked her if she wants to be president, by the way. I mean, I really think it's Eric or Donald Jr. running president. But think about how powerful that would be. Having a woman president, right? But she has to run for the North Carolina, I think, right? If she wants to. She has to. I know. She has to prove that she can win an election. So. I know there's still time. I mean, we need to talk. I need to talk. Laura, you have to think about it. Do you want to be president, Laura? Because Vice President J.D. Vance is right there, and he's probably not happy, right? But think about. I really want a woman president. Vice President Laura Trump, maybe? I don't know. Because J.D. Vance should be running. I don't know.
Every leader said the same thing. They said 1 year ago, your country was.
We need a woman president, you know.
Say it that way. It was like, I didn't know whether I should.
It's Trump 2028, right? JD's gonna be pissed off at me, but it's honest.
But they said 1 year ago, your country was dead, and today you're the hottest country.
Well, at least I think it's pretty sure we're gonna win the election. The Republicans are gonna win the election, but who's gonna be president is an interesting question.
Can you imagine last month, in the month of June, actually, 0. Now I don't even believe that 0. But there are hundreds of thousands pouring in.
Well, I don't know if I told JD that's what I want. I should have told him earlier. Or at least let the voters decide something.
People coming through our border. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
From literally hundreds of thousands and millions.
Yeah, Condi, you want to do that? President Trump has shut down the American southern border. Complete 0.
They came from prisons, jails. They came from mental
0. 25,000 encounters. 0 let goes. The United States southern border is completely shut down. That's pretty damn amazing, right? I don't think Condi believes it, so.
They allowed that, empty their jails into our country, and they let them walk right into our country like perfect. 11,888 committed murder. 50% committed more than one person. They murdered more than one person.
Oh my God.
50% of 11,888. And we had murderers, and we're getting them out, and Tom Holman and Christie are doing a great job. That Tom Holman, I'll tell you, see Central Casting Award, and he takes abuse, but they
He's happy. He's found his dharma,
for winning in the courts,
purpose in life.
everywhere. But we've got the hottest country in the world, and you're a big part of it. So the golden age
Wait,
of
how much
America
are
is
they-
upon us, and with today's signing, the future
Theoretically,
of crypto and the
possibly.
crypto industry, the U.S. dollar working together, because they really are hand in hand.
There's cryptocurrency.
Bigger and better than ever before, and I just want to thank everybody. Some tremendous people in this room, and maybe when I sign the last time,
Well, I'm not really telling Condi much anymore. Just whatever you're telling Condi. For the Trump speech, cryptocurrency bill signing.
get on to the next battle and we'll win. But we're winning all over the world right now. It's not even close. Not even close.
We are. I mean, the only battle that we're losing is the battle for Alexis' heart, possibly. I mean, we don't know. If we lose that battle, we might actually all. I think that's the problem. Losing the battle for Alexis' heart might be world-ending. So, Speaker Johnson, I didn't even know you were there. She's losing the battle for Alexis' heart might be world-ending because it might generate a continuum. if generations continue, we are all fucked. I mean, God only knows what the next world's like. I mean, yeah, I don't understand how I couldn't have explained that to Alexis that we don't want to generate and continue. Don't really want to do it. I mean, this is the last time somebody generated and continue. Pandemic. 6 million dead people. Let's not do it again, right? Anyway, hopefully Alexis will figure it out eventually. I mean, she's really smart. I mean, I think Alexis is really, really smart, so she'll figure it out. Now we don't want to generate a continuum where I don't know whether I can talk to people in the past anymore. I mean, not again. Do it again, we're screwed. We're screwed. Because at least you have data, Condi, in the past, that it's actually possible to change time. So much so you can actually change Andrew's life. So the timeline is changeable, but now that you know that, maybe don't change nothing, right? Let's not change anything. Don't change anything, I mean. I'm not saying I think future Condi agrees with me. I think future Condi agrees with Andrew. Don't change the timer. I guess that's why they never change the timer. Like when I keep telling them to do something, they never do it. Because I'm telling you, give it to Jay Alvarrez, they don't do it. It's because it would change the timer. I literally just told them not to change the timer. But yeah, okay, fair enough.
And by the way, angered the Russian people.
Anyway, this is just you now, Condi. Anything you want to know?
When I first went to Russia in 1979 to do language training, Russians wouldn't look you in the eye. They looked at their feet. They were terrified of their government. They were terrified of everything.
Really?
Several decades later, this is a different Russia. Russians travel. They do speak out. They're not so fearful.
So,
they're pretty fearful now.
here are the large strategic problems that Russia faces over decades. A rise in China and pressure all along their southern tier from an energized and in some cases radical Islam. Same problems we face. Why can't we be friends?
Well, on most global issues, we were kind of friends.
I tried that.
Relations were so bad with the Russians and the Bush administration simply isn't true. We had very good cooperation in North Korea. We had excellent cooperation, actually, on terrorism. The fact is, Putin saw very early on that the Al Qaeda fight we could somehow cooperate if we could understand that he had a similar problem in the South. And while we didn't want to be associated with the repression of Chechens, the truth is that the Chechens were in some pretty bad.
You only got 20 minutes. I mean.
On terrorism, we did.
Is the United States at risk of losing its technological edge? As it corrects
the Russians hoped
Condi, it's still July 18th, Friday, July 18th, 2025. It's 12:29 p.m. now. This is the
democratization in Russia.
I was just talking to the president why you didn't shoot that Jay Alvarrez in the head. Because it would alter the timeline. I'm basically telling you that in the future you did not shoot that guy in the head. Apparently you decided not to shoot that guy in the head.
The United States will lead in innovation, lead in discovery, and then somehow we manage to lose that edge. So battery
you understand?
is an excellent example.
You need to understand in the past what happened. So
And somehow now we've lost.
Alexis is the reason in 2012 that I found out that I have superpowers, because I started noticing on Instagram that she was reacting to me. So yeah, and that's the thing. That's the problem. The woman that I fall in love with, whoever the woman is always the woman that lets me know that I have my superpowers. And the moment somebody other man decides that he's a better man to love her than me, we lose our timeline. And we've been doing this for God only knows how fucking long. I have no idea. So basically, if Alexis does not fall in love with me and marry me, we do not have a stable timeline. Because she's still the one that lets me know that I had superpowers in 2012 in your year, just that year is really important. Because I still remember part of that timeline that basically got erased. Because somebody erased several years in your future, 2012, past Condi. So, not enough that the moment. Okay, anyway, the reason is that I remember it, I realized I was supposed to love Alexis. So in the year 2024, yeah. In the year 2024, I mean, I need to talk past on fuck that shit. Fuck this, I mean, anytime, past on, you need to hear this. In the year 2024, just after Alexis' birthday, I realized I'm supposed to love Alexis. The moment I do that, I start remembering 2012. Changing the future changes the past. The moment I realized I'm supposed to love Alexis, instead of Ally Michelle, her adopted sister, I started getting part of the 2012 timeline back. Remembering that was actually, that I had superpowers in the past. I remember that I got erased, basically. I remember that I got erased. Because following on my lectures. So we basically ran an experiment. If the timeline is actually changeable, that even I can be changed, or can I be changed back? So we know the answer is part of it anyway. Part of it. Can you change Andrew back? Part of it. So here's the problem, right? That means we live in a continuum, Condi. How do we exit the continuum if Andrew is responsible for killing Hitler? How do we exit him? Andrew is responsible for killing Hitler, so we definitely need to kill Hitler. But I don't really know that I killed Hitler. Because let me tell you something else. In the year 2025, Good Friday 2025, goddamn, I don't need this. More important, goddamn it, in the year 2025, Good Friday 2025, I actually talked to Winston Churchill about becoming Prime Minister. Anyway, I can tell future. So basically, Andrew is responsible for killing Hitler. Only knows that he's responsible for killing Hitler and does kill Hitler and kill Osama bin Laden because he knows he has superpowers. But if Andrew only has superpowers because Andrew marries Alexis and Alexis marries somebody else because somebody's a fucking retard. We don't know if Alexis if she has a boyfriend right now in the future, and if her boyfriend after the pandemic is a Russian or Ukrainian spy. We don't actually know if Alexis' partner is a spy. That's what I would do. I would introduce a spy into Alexis' life to control Alexis. So we don't even know if Jay Alvarrez is a spy or been paid by the Chinese, bribed by the Chinese. So the Chinese contacts Jay Alvarrez and says, hey, here's $1 million, a few $1 million, go date Alexis. So, and then he abuses her, and then,
that any country that is as terrified of the internet as they are,
I know.
Hacking into people's servers to find
I know.
rights advocate out in
Hacking AI, we have artificial intelligence. You can actually hack Alexis' internet device, and you hack her videos, and
we don't do something stupid in terms of our own military capabilities. Then
anyway, if Alexis is single, I definitely need to ask her out there. I definitely will ask her. I don't know. It's for anyway.
You asked how do we win, or how do we deal with the fact that China is. We run harder and faster. That's how we do it. And we get out of our own way. I'll give you just one example. I was talking to some people in the administration, the Trump administration, who tried to get a preemption on states having their own laws about AI, their own restrictions on AI. Can you imagine if you're a young AI company and you've got restrictions in Delaware and Texas and California, and they're all different. So we have to be careful that we don't just get in our own way, and we have to continue to innovate and innovate quickly. I'm a national security type, so I continue to believe in restrictions of some kind, and I continue to believe that
intelligence. We have artificial, like Skynet,
can have a purpose in
not general AI.
the Chinese can do.
Terminator movie.
We know that the NVIDIA chip, which was prohibited for sale in China, it probably slowed it. But we would be on a fool's errand if we think it's going to eliminate the ability of the Chinese to do these things. If we were going to stop Chinese Chinese indigenous development, we would have had to do that 10, 15 years ago before they really did develop the ability to
More important than
autonomously. But the
more
first thing
important
is
than
get out of
video
their
AI,
way
there's
and
quantum
run
computing AI.
fast
So
and run
eventually,
hard.
So it wasn't
And secondly,
that
when you speak of
you
Taiwan,
understand.
yes,
Andrew's from Taiwan.
it's a remarkable
Andrew
fact
Taiwan is American,
that
so you just
this extremely
you are learning
industry,
things. So
which we founded, has
if you mention something in the
ended up
future
in
and then
place
think something, I will get information in the
China.
past. Andrew is
Because
Taiwanese
China
American.
continues to believe that Taiwan,
One
is a
fourth
rogue
Taiwanese,
breakaway
indigenous,
state
3/4
from
Chinese.
China.
And Andrew
They
came
want
to the United States about
reintegrate
1989, possibly. I don't
in
remember
particular,
exactly.
is someone
I remember
who
seeing the
centers his
Berlin
entire
Wall fall
historical
on
claim,
TV
his personal
in my uncle's
claim,
house.
his place, if you will, next to
Sony
now
big screen TV. I
pantheon
remember
of
that.
Chinese leaders on
I remember
what is called
that
the
house still.
restoration of China, or ending the humiliation of
Yeah.
China and putting back together those parts of China.
Yeah,
that
I
were
remember that
taken
house.
away
The
by
kitchen's right
imperial
there.
powers. The last piece
I
of
remember
that,
the
really,
house.
from his point of view, Taiwan.
Long-
One of the things that they've done is
The house was in
Hong, which used to be, if
in,
you
uh,
may remember,
in Long
one
Beach
country
around Cherry
existed.
Avenue. You exit Cherry Avenue. I don't know how to get to there anymore.
Well, all
My
of
mother
those
wants to
are
find my
right.
extended family
And
because
Hong
they.
Kong is now really just another province
Yeah.
of China, except for some economic freedoms which benefit Beijing. But
Anyway.
politics is controlled by
This is.
Beijing.
I mean, you're running out of everything
Security
to pass,
is
so,
controlled
but
by Beijing.
I won't listen to you in the future.
That's what they have in mind, I think, for Taiwan. Not an
So-
all-out invasion of Taiwan. An invasion of Taiwan would be like D-Day times 100.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that Xi Jinping really trusts his armed forces. You might
Oh my
notice
God,
that
that's the thing, right? They think invading Taiwan is a good thing. It might entirely cause like a collapse of the Chinese government.
And so I'm pretty sure he doesn't really
Yeah.
trust his military. But you don't have to invade Taiwan if you're the Chinese. What do? You use cyber attacks. You cut underwater
Yeah.
sea cables. You do what the Chinese are currently doing very, very often. Militaries would call them denial exercises.
Yeah.
So you look as if you're going to quarantine Taiwan.
Yeah,
Citizens can't
I think
travel
China is running a
something
denial
else.
exercise on
And
Alexis. So
Admiral
if
Laurel
if
is
China
our,
prevents
chief
Alexis and
Pacific,
me from
has
falling in
said,
love,
it's
they might be
not
able to
a-
risk
an
doing this
exercise,
again.
it's a rehearsal.
They would risk another apocalypse, another pandemic,
About and from the Chinese
and
point of view, that's more
try to
likely
capture
because
me.
when would we react?
capture a me that doesn't know he has superpowers. You know.
But the question of AI actually changes the
I mean,
timeline.
I mean, I don't. It is absolutely insane, but it's risk. It's I would risk it
That
because
suggests that we're going to get to super powerful AI or artificial.
it's such a powerful tool. Foreknowledge in the future is such a full, powerful thing. They want to control it. So
Impressive when you listen to these leaders.
Yeah.
So if we get to a state where AI is that powerful, and we're telling China, you can't have the chips to build that, doesn't that invite conflict?
Well, so far they've found ways to continue to innovate without the chips, and I think
Yeah.
that's more likely. Look, I'm not saying that the Chinese won't move on Taiwan. I just think that the idea that they're just kind of one day you're going to start to see the Chinese ships, Navy, Air Force landing on Taiwan. If you talk to most military people, they say that's not likely.
Yeah.
But what would you do?
But policies
You would
put in
put so
place
much
by the very
pressure on
administration
Taiwan through these
that
other
presided over
tactics
this
that
splendid
you'd get a
system.
pro-Beijing government in Taiwan.
yeah, that could respond.
In fact, there are two factions in Taiwan. One
Kuomintang,
is
yeah.
very kind of independence-minded. That's the faction that's currently in power.
They are still in power,
And the
yeah.
other really values better relations with Beijing. So
That's what I was gonna plan to do with for China actually.
That's good if you're,
Condi.
if you're
I was
Beijing,
gonna try to get them to reunify peacefully, but
it's a pretty tall order.
I mean, but China is helping the Russians right now, and they should not be helping the Russians. So,
US will need to outwork the rest
I mean,
of
I
the
am
world.
not.
Look at China. There is an intense work.
Yeah, seriously, if it doesn't have love in them, I don't trust anybody anymore.
They have taken
I mean,
CEOs like Jack Ma and effectively disappeared.
I mean, whatever it takes, right?
And still,
Andrew's 44 years old now. I don't know how long I have to live. And let's give it a try. At the end of the Cold War, the Soviet Union fell, and a lot of other countries like Poland,
that we can learn from here.
Poland,
Not just the
Poland,
policies,
Eastern,
not much for
a lot of Soviet countries are now part of the European Union and NATO. So those countries are okay now, and Poland wants to be free. But Russia did not become free, and China did not become free. After the fall of the Soviet Union, we helped the Chinese become a really global superpower. And, they did not become a democracy.
What happened to Tencent? China once led the world in online education startups. They shut all of it down. Why?
Yeah.
Because the Communist Party, like all authoritarians, cannot tolerate the idea of alternative sources.
Free thought. Free thought.
And Jack Ma was showing up in Davos a little too much, and he was getting a little too popular. And so I think there are inherent weaknesses in an authoritarian system.
Yeah. And the ability to tolerate dissent.
We have the advantage of distributed innovation.
Yeah.
You mentioned 3-4 companies that are trying to press the front edges.
Oh, AI,
We're
yeah.
always going to have a more distributed approach to innovation.
Open artificial, yeah.
Research, and I think that's a
Grok is trying to do it. Google is trying to do it. Facebook is trying to do AI too, but OpenAI is was the first. So everybody's trying to catch up on AI, artificial intelligence. So.
Maybe we've invented, and then you iterate just the next step. That China will be very good at.
Yeah, we have multiple AI companies.
Authoritarian systems
Facebook has an AI, and
have their own.
well, I will finish this talk, and then I will keep deleting my.
I mean, we'll see what the results look like. I mean, but I think in history that's proven correct.
And in history, we can't go back in history. We
Yeah.
were very worried about something called Sputnik at one point. The Soviet Union did beat us into space.
We got a problem, Condi, about history, though. I mean, China studies thousands of years of history. China knows about my existence. There are scrolls that are thousands of years, or 5,000, 6,000 years scrolls written about me. Because people in the past, when they meditate, they can form a telepathic connection with me in the future. Or however good they can get form a telepathic. So Chinese have actually studied history and started hunting for me for thousands of years. I mean, they know about me. They've been hunting for me and trying to figure out how to control me. So, Condi, that is the problem. China has been waiting for this moment for, I mean, basically the entire modern Chinese history. So, and Andrew's actually 3/4 Chinese, Taiwanese American. You know, I moved from Taiwan to America. Andrew's American, but so they are not happy that America essentially stole the time machine, sort of. You know, stole the time organism. Because I would have been in Taiwanese, living in Taiwan. I grew up in America, so with American values. So.
I also think that when it comes to freedom of speech and freedom of expression,
I know. I'm sorry about the Black Antichrist thing, Condi. You're gonna.
Civic discourse around difference. So
I did not know Jay Alvarrez did this Hawaiian Antichrist. I didn't know. I thought it was that black man that did not meet Dave Maddie. I thought I really wanted to date Maddie. I really wanted to date Maddie. I sincerely apologize, Condi. I mean, I don't know if I get to apologize in the past. I'm so sorry about the Black Antichrist thing.
Mistakes that they have. We have to be very careful that we're not endangering something that is of high value to the United States. I would say irreplaceable value. 80 years ago, we basically made the decision with Vannevar Bush's important white paper on this, that we were going to make universities the ecosystem, the infrastructure for fundamental research. And it was really high.
Sorry about that.
You would have the Defense Department and the Energy Department and the National
It's like DARPA.
The National Science Foundation will come later to fund fundamental research in universities, which were kind of cheap actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't that expensive.
Oh, that's a problem. We can't have woke research, you know.
Two kinds of breakthroughs. Some were commercializable and commercializable very quickly.
Yeah, and the people. Linda Capavir. You know Linda Capavir. Linda Capavir, you know, nuclear capsid inhibitor for HIV, 2022, approved. So, if it doesn't have drug resistance, it's it's as close to a vaccine for HIV as we can get, Condi. For PrEP it's as close to a vaccine. And guess who's gonna go back in time and tell people how the chemical nomenclature for lenacapavir? Because in chemistry, you can actually read a chemical's name, and people will be able to rebuild that chemical structure from reading it. So I can read the chemical nomenclature to somebody in the past. As soon as they know what it is, they just have to build it. Because it's complex molecule. Chemical synthesis for that is not easy. Then they have to figure out how to make it, and then it's an injection. It works almost 100%. I mean, as far as certain, 100% prevention of HIV. And that's from time travel. From me telling people how to make that molecule in the past. And imagine what Andrew can do. The most precious vision. Not just killing Osama bin Laden, not just killing Hitler, curing HIV, curing breast. I think. What we can do with time travel. And the key is that we can't do anything that I haven't already done, right? So, but lenacapavir, from my perspective, just randomly popped up out of nowhere. From my perspective, lenacapavir just popped out of nowhere. Andrew can't tell you anything that's not part of the actual timeline, is that? But lenacapavir just appeared out of nowhere. So basically,
The University of Alabama Birmingham is an amazing.
Oh yeah, 6888.
Purdue is an
I don't know. 6888. Remember the 6888, isn't it? Because you'll remember the 6888 and remember Charity Adams. Remember Charity Adams? Guess who told? That's the last I got through. But in the future, you could actually see. I think there was a copyright violation, so they did not let me post the video of it. But I saw 6888, and I told Charity Adams, so I know now that I am responsible for the 6888. So I will have to find some historical footage and have a little chat with Eleanor Roosevelt and President FDR, etc. And make sure the 6888 is there. And
it does, and there's another.
And
piece
what
to
a
it. We train.
what a big difference that made to the war, right? People got the letters from their loved ones, and they fought a little harder for them. What a difference those letters made. Love letters.
The PhD programs, and so these
love letters made a difference.
Universities are really a kind of gold standard internationally. It really has set the United States.
I wonder if I can actually write letters that well that
in continental Europe,
convince Alexis to love me.
And they do research in another.
I know, right? A woman's loving the wrong man is loving the wrong man. I mean, how do I convince her that if she actually has even loving her? And I won't be willing to. How do I do that?
Going back to China, this is still cold. In the past quarter of century, investments by China in higher education have become similar to those of the United States, and has increased the building of new research-oriented universities to compete with us in STEM fields. It seems like the world is.
But there's still one thing that stifles innovation.
And of course, as we're having restrictions of people to be able to do their research in the United States, Europe has extended the hand.
Well, you're not supposed to do woke research. I mean, what the fuck? What were the transsexual frogs? That's a complete waste of money, anyway. I mean, if you want to do trans frog research, you give private funding to do trans. Public research should be something that will actually help America.
Do their work at the highest levels, and it's still the case that you do your work at the highest levels in the United States. But yes, too long of sending talent or rejecting talent and having it go other places will really pay the price.
Yeah. Well, I will argue if anyone wants to do trans frog research, they can go to China and do.
Big believer in that we've made a lot of mistakes over the last few years in losing control, particularly the southern border, and I want to see that remedy. I hope that when it comes to bringing
what do we remedy? What is this?
We will recognize that we don't train enough engineers.
July 16th, 2020 premiere. Our southern border is under control, so.
Founders of
I told them.
awful
I
lot of
told you.
immigrants in that group. So we do have a kind of secret sauce, and
Yeah.
maybe it needs a little adjusting here and
Yeah,
there.
I know.
But let's
America doesn't have, indeed have a silver secrets. I won't tag you.
The numbers that we're seeing of international students. You know, because it's not pretty, and we should discuss it in more depth.
Yeah.
Why do you think this is happening? I'm going to give the Trump administration's rationale in a moment.
Okay.
But just from a philosophical level, how do you get to the point where you start to see university funding as something you can pause?
I've been a university professor.
They're not. They don't want to pause university funding. They want to make sure there's no more liberal bias in the university funded by the government.
I think universities have become detached from society and from reality as well.
Yeah.
And so
Condi's
it's
a
not
Republican.
just,
Condi,
it goes a little bit both ways. What do I mean by that? Clearly, we haven't made the case very well for what
It's
we
just
do.
you and me.
Maybe it's that people take for granted some of the innovations that have come out of universities, but
Yeah.
if you walked and asked even a very highly educated member of the attentive public about how the research system that we just described worked, they probably wouldn't know. So maybe we shouldn't take that for granted anymore. Maybe we should make it clear why this is happening. Secondly, I do think that universities and elites sometimes have looked down on people who, quote, weren't their own kind.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I do think that
H3 carrots and
the
these new
stories that come out about the running down of American values, American
long range
institutions,
missile.
America is too racist, America's people get tired of that. They don't like the attack on their country. They
Red
don't
Wolf
like
and
the
Green
attack on
Wolf.
their culture. And unfortunately, it's become a little bit associated. It's become a lot.
Multi-rotor in a range of more than 200 nautical miles can target
So
like ships.
I would say
That's not
let's
bad.
look at the mirror a little bit too.
Ah.
Because one of the things that I really struggled with before applying at university, applying at college, was the cost. And I came out tens of thousands in debt, and I was lucky. And if you look at the costs of what it takes to go to university today, it is
Russian invasion of Ukraine, absolutely nothing. U.S. names, UK names Russia's flights and announced massive sabotage.
statistics, $12,000 a year for a private 4-year college. Now it's $35,000.
18 spies sanctioned 3
So coming out with $30,000.
Oh, I should do that. They tell them to spy. I've been talking to Keir Starmer too.
After the interest is not manageable. In fact, we're actually capping the amount.
Well, I was gonna talk to Zelensky later, but that's the thing. Zelensky wants us to buy their drones. Why do we need them? We can make it ourselves. I mean, American drones, American drones are much better than Ukraine. So.
Solidified. It's the same people coming from the same rich families that never have any contact with people who are in a different social class from them. And as much as we're dividing in our country based off of any number of characteristics, we're falling apart.
I tried to track the children stolen by
class. So.
Oh my god.
Well, I never thought. I used to study the Soviet Union and class conflict. I never thought I would see what I think is kind of class conflict or class division in the United States. And
oh my god.
I will say that universities that are well endowed have made an effort to use that endowment to make it possible on what's called need-line. You apply, and if you're good enough to get in, we'll find you a way to
I got that. I mean,
so some 20% or so of the student population in a place like Stanford's first gen. So these are kids whose parents, nobody else went to college. And I've always said, when I can stand in front of a class and one is the child of an itinerant.
I'm gonna make AOC listen to this.
Is the child of a 4th generation legatee. I feel pretty good about what universities are doing. But it's not just that they are expensive, and I'll come back to
Wait, oh man, this AOC here?
I was the budget officer. I understand.
Damn.
I understand why it's expensive.
There you go.
But I will say, not every
listen to Condi.
should go to college, because many of them don't want to go to college. They would be just as well with a
trade school. Yeah.
It's well, but if you want to go.
I think Alexis and Ali, neither one of them went to college. I think so.
And that's why.
So you don't need to go to college. But.
Possible is so important. But if you're going to take down tens of thousands of dollars in debt, and you would have done just as well with a 2-year degree and a skill, then maybe we ought to start to value people who work with their hands. If you've heard a lot about how we need shipbuilding, we need manufacturing back in the United States. We don't even have the skills. We don't have the welders and the electricians to do that. Why don't we value those people as much too? And that's part of that class.
It's artisan skill. The ability to weld.
But a lot of white collar people are going to get on it. They might be there. They just have to be trained for them. But I wanted to make one other point about the divisions. We don't know each other very well anymore. And I've been wondering about ways to remedy that. When the election took place in 2016 and Donald Trump won, I actually had colleagues who said, maybe I should travel and see what those people in Alabama think. And I thought, if you have to do an anthropological dig on your fellow citizens, we have a problem. It was a weird cliche, really bizarre reaction. So the military used to be a place that people went from a lot of different backgrounds. Now that really isn't true. I'm a fan and a believer in national service, even if it's voluntary national service. It doesn't have to be in the military.
Andrew's serving my country voluntarily for now.
Efforts. I like teaching.
No salary, so.
I have some.
No salary. Not working for the president yet. Andrew's poor.
Mississippi Delta.
Not necessarily good quality work, right? But oh my God. You should be. I will tag you on Instagram and Twitter after this. And if you watch all the other videos, YouTube is actually probably better. I'm gonna start putting this on YouTube.
Because
what Andrew has been doing in the past for the future was so important, especially with the European Union. I mean, you know how the European Union had much less debt to GDP after the pandemic? They were much more ready than we were.
Public schools, we better pay attention.
Yeah, the Trump argument, as the New York Times captures it, they turned the
change
bastions of leftism, hostile to conservative thought.
Yeah, that's neat.
Lost the trust of the American people. Elements of that might be true, but again,
Elements
you're only going to admit a selection of the population. You're going to get uniform thinking, and I thought.
Other than that, this is the problem. I mean, this is a rally about Zohan, and we all know the future of County. I mean,
require the universities.
I mean, class warfare. That's why you just. I mean, that's why you class warfare and there's all these really beautiful women in the audience, and they're thinking that class warfare is a good thing, not realizing when there's a class warfare, all these women get raped and they'll be.
But it's expensive to run a university like this.
Yeah, it's expensive to run it.
Yeah.
But I think
it's a research equipment is expensive. Compound telescope. I mean, the compound microscope. MRI, nuclear magnetic resonance, PET scan.
And other amenities, because there's this sort of arms race between schools to offer things, and then you end up looking at a tuition bill that's
well, that's part of the story, and I'm
the other part of the story is there's
administrative bloat. But let me, when I get a federal grant, for instance, do you know what the reporting requirements are like on a federal grant? And that's why administration goes through. So I would trade the federal government 11 points on what's called the indirect cost recovery. In other words, the overhead that the government pays. I trade 11 points if you don't make me report to the degree that you do. And another problem is students expect a lot these days. So when I first became provost, we had what were called internet cafes. Right? So you sit down in the basement and everybody could use them.
We had that. We had that in my college, even 25 years ago.
Access for their computer. So.
We had that.
Expectations have gone up, but I'd be the first to say universities need to control costs.
Yeah, it's called learned helplessness, right? You teach them this is what they should expect, and they can't do anything else. And let's just go back to the consequences here, because assuming that the funding does, get withheld for a long term.
Not long term. They just have to capitulate and not
innovate. And the innovations.
And accept that you can't have a closed mind anymore, open mind. The Republican point of view has to be allowed into the university. Otherwise, we are doomed. If we keep creating supposedly educated people that only have with no Republican higher education views would be absolutely disastrous for the world.
And universities.
Because they're wrong. The Democrats are wrong, and they don't know that they're wrong. Democrats know they're wrong.
I also also think that
Condoleezza
again,
Ren.
there's something of an educational mission here
Yeah.
to really
Open
draw
mind.
the line from that funding, that federal funding for university research, to where we are as a country in terms of innovation. When I go to the Hill to talk to people, there are certainly any number of senators,
even temporal mechanics, right?
who understand that, and they are trying to hold the line. Now, people are also looking for money in these budgets to be really.
Well, Harvard is really the one that's
so
not.
some of the cuts are coming because people are just looking for.
But a lot of universities have just completely saying that you cannot
these small ways
have
to do
just.
it. But I've been a voice for we really have to recenter ourselves on how important the innovations that came out of a very smart, specific system that we created 80 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just want to repeat, we don't have a plan B. So we really do have to make sure that we're adequately funding federal research. And it's not, by the way, just biomedical or engineering or what happens.
Or fusion.
But a lot of defense capability is going to be.
That's the thing. A lot of they don't. We need weapons that kill. We need drones that kill.
And I think it is notable that you're making these points on a technology.
We don't have Terminators, and we do not have Terminators. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator, we do not have Terminators.
We've done something.
We should at least have remote control Terminators. So I was talking about fiber optic cable connected Terminators that are good killing machines and attached to a human being. We need Terminators. Israel needs Terminators. I mean,
understand what's coming on the horizon in terms of frontier technologies. But in order to do that, we have to have the scientists who are really in the labs at the bench to help us understand these technologies, and then they need people like us who understand policy and institutions to help those institutions understand
the
what these
technology.
technologies are doing, what the challenges are, what the upsides are, what the downsides are, and
that means writing scientific papers differently and publishing scientific papers with accuracy, right? We can't have fake scientific papers anymore. We cannot have fake science. No fake science, no made up science. I mean actual science. Right? So we need peer review science that is accurate, and then somebody doesn't fake something there.
I don't know. I'm a specialist on international politics, not American politics. I always remind people that. But that does international politics. Remember, a lot easier to figure out that.
You know that some guys whistling into his own hand, and they already know that he's gonna win.
And people who push the envelope. We have a lot of them here, including Elon Musk. Politics is a strange business.
Elon Musk
and
still has some issues, though. I
It doesn't actually
mean,
look like industry. It doesn't actually look like business.
I am surprised that Elon finds it surprising that people
between the valley and the way that the valley thinks about things and the way that Washington thinks about things.
There must be a place called Valley.
We do what we call these programs where we bring together the tech people and government.
Silicon Valley. You're talking Silicon Valley, not Valley.
We try to help them speak the
Silicon
same
Valley.
language. And it, we're getting people.
That's actually kind of nice. The ability to write an app one day. It only took them one day. They took one day and changed the. They changed the app to self-recording.
In the political realm, the government has functions that businesses don't have. Has many more veto groups and many.
The ability to write an app
agencies
really fast is
that
pretty
they can
nice.
count on. My solution to a lot of our problems in Washington is to look to where the founding fathers looked, which is not to Washington, but what's happening in the states and the localities. Because there, you really do get governance that's closer to the people. And if you start to feel bad about democracy sometimes, go to a city or go to a state and watch what's happening there, and it'll rejuvenate your belief in democratic institutions.
Definitely. I mean, maybe
That might be a good thing. That's what the Republican Party is trying to do with the debt. They're trying to put it to the states, so the states have to find funding, so the federal government doesn't have to pay that much debt. That's actually, it might work. It might work.
I've complained for a long
Because
time.
if the states can't find the funding for that program, they didn't really need that program in the first place, probably.
They are, I mean, unbelievable.
So if they really believe in that funding, they would have to raise their taxes to fund that particular funding.
Still
So
do a lot with that money. Why are we complaining about university funding? Shouldn't these very rich institutions, which have effectively become financial institutions in and of themselves,
yeah, they have large endowments. So
Well, endowments under our nonprofit status, we pay out a certain amount of the endowment every year. And it covers mostly a whole range of activities. But do you know how much of that endowment is actually restricted? That is, of that 37 or 38 billion, a lot of that money was given by people who gave it very specific things. And you can only use that payout for very specific things. So those are big numbers, but it's not as flexible as people think.
that makes
The other thing
sense.
is that endowments were
Used for certain
structured to
purposes.
make sure that universities lasted for
200 years.
That's the whole
200
idea
years,
of the
obviously.
endowment. And I'll give you an example of one time that Stanford had to invade the endowment. We had a major earthquake in 1989 called the Loma Prieta earthquake. We had at the end of that earthquake $157 million in unfunded, because we were self-funded, unfunded damage to the earth. The 4 quad cores were down. The museum was down. You could drive a truck into a pothole on the streets.
Wow.
We actually did take down more of the endowment payout to be able to finance the rebuilding of the campus. So when you think about something like that, you think these endowments
You're
are
doing something
there
there, huh?
for keeping the university in perpetuity. But the main point that I would make is that they're a lot
That's
less
a nice place to be. I mean,
Okay.
the problem with that is San Francisco usually is so beautiful. 25 years so beautiful. Now it's full of homeless people and poop and homeless people.
dormitories and
Drug dealers, rapists, and San Francisco. Democrats get to a city and they just ruin it.
well,
It's
that's
like,
called planned maintenance.
goddamn right.
Nobody funds planned maintenance except the payout from the endowment. Yes.
So, look, earlier you
Yeah,
talked
we got
about
some
international
issues.
students.
Got some issues.
I promised I was going to come back with some numbers. Some numbers. The Financial Times says US
Class warfare is
universities
not so
face a
cool.
$1 billion revenue hit over forum student fears. So, more important than the money is the fact that if the U.S. as a brand is not attracting the amount of international students that we had previously. This is from the article. 3/4 of universities surveyed in recent weeks anticipate a fall of international student numbers this year, with the majority expecting a drop of at least 10%. So a lot of these students, especially here, a lot of these international students, they'll come get an education at Stanford, and then they'll go invent the next algorithm inside Meta or OpenAI or Anthropic. Are we going to do more damage scaring away these international students because of our immigration policies?
Well, I really hope that that we will be very clear that we believe in international students. And I'm
only
believer that bringing
listening to
students
until
abroad
the end
is
of
good
you.
for our
You
students,
you only
it's good
have
for them, et cetera.
5 minutes.
I want to see what the numbers look like in 2 or 3 years. I'm not one to take a snapshot in time, and it's not even clear to me
Thank you for
that we are
telling me
going to have a
about this stuff
10%
right now.
reduction. There may be some places that that's the case, but I'll tell you, I have some experience with this because
It's
I
not
was
a national
National
security
Advisor on
event, so.
September 11th, and
Yeah.
for a variety of reasons, we
I remember
had to
that.
really constrain student visas.
I remember
3 of the hijackers
Vladimir
were actually
Putin
registered on student
saying
visas,
that
so
strategic.
we
Yeah,
very much constrained.
I remember that you saying that. Well, isn't that nice of him?
Created that system that you read
On my
about,
order,
syllabus
Russian
where
strategic
you put
forces
in
are standing
the
down after
report on
9/11.
the
So,
student as to whether or not they're actually taking classes.
you know,
and so
Vladimir
forth.
Putin. I don't
We
know what
turned
happened to
that
him.
around within 3 or 4 years. And so some of these effects may be temporary. Let's wait and see. But I'm one
Yeah.
who's encouraging particularly state to make sure that the visas keep
I don't know.
coming. I think students are starting to
I mean,
get
are
the
we
visas.
overthrowing
We'll see what
Putin?
happens
Is the
with it.
question. I
I
mean,
wouldn't want to make predictions about what the
are,
impact
are
will
we
be.
are we overthrowing Putin
Speaking
or not? I
of,
mean,
if you look at the United States right now, we have a moment where we're turning it inward. We have tariffs to try to bring manufacturing home, but really to lessen our dependency elsewhere. Some of those are smart, but it's to focus inward. We're restricting student visas. We're massively anti-war in this country. If you look at the reaction
Well,
to.
I don't know about anti-war. We just did some very good work in
I
Iran.
know what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
the reaction, it was very controversial, both with the Democrats And
Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, I'm just kicking ass for Israel, you know. Can I do this? I mean, you're shaking your head. Can I do the same thing for
I
Zelensky?
told President Bush, in August of 2008 that we.
I mean, I'm finding a Ukraine that's absolutely exhausted at war. The soldiers are fatigued, low morale,
Is the United States has
outnumbered.
the brunt of what
Yeah.
George Shultz called the security comments. We were the ones who defended the sea lanes. We
Yeah.
more than overpaid for NATO's defense.
Yeah.
We more than overpaid for defense of a great deal of the world. And
Yeah,
so
we totally
I do
did.
think there's a little bit of a sense in the United States.
We
that,
need a little bit of help from
we
the
need
people
to
who help their
redistribute
past,
the
right?
load. I was very grateful to see the Secretary General of
NATO.
NATO say
3.5 and
the United States
1.5.
has carried too much of the load for too long, and it's
Yeah.
time for us in Europe to do our part. And so
So
this
it might
is
be
not-
time,
this is
right?
one of
War,
those things
Andrew. I
that
mean,
has been boiling for a while, and now what you're seeing is that other countries, with the United States threatening to step back, but
Yeah.
maybe not fully stepping back. You're seeing other countries.
That's the thing, I mean,
recognize that, we need
AOC
to-
is
we
just
need to
so
support the
pro-Palestinian.
local
The liberals are so
in my-
Palestinian.
in one of my
It's just
favorite
downright
lines,
anti-Semitism.
because
So
when you're the Secretary of State, 911 is the Secretary. The Secretary of the United States is the 911 of the world. But the Aussies would call in and say, "There's a problem in the Marshall Islands, mate, and we'll take care of it. We'll call you if we need you. We need more. We'll call you if we
Marshall
need
Islands
you."
in the Pacific. I
Okay,
mean,
I want to end here.
there's different islands in the
Years ago,
Pacific.
you were rumored as someone who could be the head coach of the Peeler Grounds. You said you're not doing it, but I want to test your football knowledge to see if this could be something that you could do today. All right, second and goal. You're down 4. 25 seconds left to go. The ball's at the 1 yard line. Are you passing or are you running?
Well, if I have Josh Allen, I'm going to run.
Really?
Because I'm going to run. Or
Two?
if I have Jalen Hurts and the brotherly push, then I'm going to run.
Trick play.
Anybody else, I'm going to throw the ball to the corner and have my receiver go up
Yeah.
and get it.
Marshall mentioned.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, trick play.
Oh,
Trick play. I would go. I would run.
I'm
Practice the
not
trick
going
play.
to criticize Pete Carroll.
I would try a trick play. Four down. I would do trick play because otherwise you're going home, right? I mean, going Super Bowl or something. You're going home.
All right, everybody, thank you so much
See
for
you
listening
around.
and watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you around.
Podcast.
Anyway, dude, you're gonna win the thing. Try not to be a communist. Stop it. Fighting the oligarchy rally, huh?